My people of Edo State, the fellow Edo indigenous people home and abroad, I bring you greetings from EPIA headquarters. I have come to address some certain matters that is going around like a wildfire all over the social media and the media. Let us get something very clear, that the throne of the Oba of Benin is not to be insulted. My names are Dr. Bishop J.O.E. Edokolo, the founder president, Edo Progressive Indigenous Association, popularly known as Edo Indigenous Movement worldwide. Now, most of us are aware that the Oba of Benin has called a peace meeting within the All Progressive Congress and the People Democratic Party in an attempt to calm down the negative matters arising following the upcoming election. And most people, both the indigenes and non-indigenes, we have been hearing some negative utterance against the position of the Oba of Benin. Let us get something very straight, that irrespective of how unpopular a statement from the Oba of Benin will be, is never enough for anyone to insult the throne of the Oba of Benin. That throne is highly respected. That throne has been pre-existing, and we, the Edo indigenous people, respect that throne. From the mediation meeting that was called by the Oba of Benin, it was clear that the Oba of Benin made it categorically clear that his throne is not partisan. I think that is what matters to any political party candidates or followers. And I think we can take that to the bank. Now, however you persist the mediation of the Oba of Benin Kingdom to be, whether it's in line with your belief or is unpopular among us, the indigenes or the people, that can be understandable. It is okay for you to observe the mediation and have your concerns. But one thing is clear, that it's not okay for you to insult the throne of the Oba of Benin. That throne has been in existence from time immemorial, and the people of Edo Kingdom respect that throne. Now, this Oba has his style of mediation. Likewise, the previous Obas have always had their style of mediation. Some might be satisfactory with it, and some might not. But one thing is very clear, that the Oba of Benin did not instruct anyone to vote for any classified candidate. I think that is good enough for any Edo indigene to work with, or any candidate to work with. The followers of all the political parties know exactly who they want to vote for. What matters in the political industry is for you to know what is right and vote for who you think will better create a better environment or create a better governance for Edo indigenous people. Now, I put it straight to us. Let us understand that just like the Edo kingdom has his Oba, that is how we have the Queen of England, we have the Sultan of Brunei, we have royal kings in different countries that has made some unpopular statements or being involved in some unpopular statements or activities around the world. The people of their country does not castigate their monarchy. We must learn to respect the throne. We, the indigenous people of Edo Kingdom, respect the throne of the Oba of Benin. Now I call on all the Edo indigents who are concerned about that mediation to use this opportunity to understand that you have all the leverage, you have all the opportunity to deliver the candidate of which you are very much interested in becoming the governor. And let's not forget in a hurry that these governorship positions are limited. They are temporary. They will come and go. And the position of the Oba of Benin is not temporary. It is generational. On that note, let us respect it and seize the opportunity to progress with your campaign in a peaceful manner and mobilize your followers to support whatsoever candidate that you deem fit to be a part of. That's number one. Number two, I call on all the Edo indigenous people that it's time for us to begin to realize that we have no other home. You can only pretend to follow or to try to identify yourself with other cultures from other country or other settlement for a limited time. The truth of the matter is that as time progresses, as you begin to grow old, you will realize that you can never be somebody else and you can never come from somewhere else. So the earlier we begin to identify with our aborigine and our indigenous people, the better future you'll be creating for your next generation. That is why we have deemed it fit to encourage all our indigenous people to join hands with the Edo Indigenous Movement. Identify yourself with the indigenous movement by registering with us at www.edoindigens.org so that you can also be identified by an ID card to be identified as an Edo indigene from Edo Progressive Indigenous Association. How long will we continue to shy away from our home kingdom? How long will we continue to disassociate ourselves with the reality of what is going on in our land. Let us motivate ourselves to take pride in supporting the movements that will foundate the interest of Edo indigenous people within now and in the future. The world knows that we are the most accommodative people in the world. But because of lack of disunity, we have not been able to be penciled down with the credit for who we truly are. Let us not give room to non-indigens to be toying with our kingdom. We will not allow that. Edo we orima, omaye wogume. Let us not begin to see ourselves as non-Edo people or shy away from the reality on ground. Now I call on all the nobles in this society to try and demonstrate themselves as nobles rather than portraying attitude and characters that will belittle them simply because of an election that will come and go. The respect you nobles have in this state, as most of the indigenes look up to you as a leader. We use this opportunity to send a clear message for you to respect thyself and demonstrate actions that will encourage and motivate our indigenous people to believe more in the path of the leadership of Edo Kingdom. My people of Edo indigenes, the bigger picture is coming soon. After the governorship election, what is next? I don't want us to be entrapped with the tussle around we the Edo indigenes, because this will come to pass. When the dust is clear, we will see clearer. But the question is, what next? How can we synergize as a people and as indigenes to be able to conquer the marginalization of Edo indigenous people in our own land or from external force? That is what we should be looking at. How do we get more relevant in the national level? How do we attract more benefits to Edo Kingdom? How do we project Edo indigene as a president of this country so long or as long as this country remains one, as a one country or one Nigeria as it is at the moment? We don't know what happens tomorrow, but we know for sure that Edo is a kingdom that supersedes every other state in Nigeria, because development started from Edo Kingdom in Africa. Technology started from Edo Kingdom in Africa. The white people came to our land and discovered that Edo Kingdom already have its pre-existing system. When they came, they got envious of it. And they started at the time watching out for Edo Kingdom because they saw the potentials. That is why it baffles me today when I see an average and Edo indigene struggling to identify themselves with other culture, when the world culture or the genesis of culture and tradition started from Edo Kingdom, to the extent that people from other cultures are copying from Edo Kingdom. And that is the reason why EPIA has stand tall to rebrand and advertise in a very large form by introducing the upcoming Edo Indigenous Homecoming Global Festival come 2022 January. Let us not underestimate who we are. We are born kings and queens. And wherever you are, wherever you're speaking, make sure you identify yourself as an Edo indigene, as number one, not number two, not close to number one, but number one. That is who we are. And learn to put Edo indigenous people and their cause first in anything we do and in anything we say. I beg of each and every one of us, let us put Edo Kingdom first. Let us not put down the glory of our kingdom. Do not tolerate any Edo indigene or non-indigene to put down our kingdom. We respect anyone who has done well for the state. We appreciate you. But at the same time, should you have the record of what is right that you have done, the people are not blind. They will do the needful for the right person. I call on all Edo indigenes to open their eyes, and out of all these candidates, take your time and make your choice for who you think can deliver. And do not do it because of money. Take their money, vote for who you think can do the right thing for the people. That is what matters. We should be thinking of how to plant Edo indigenes in every four walls of the empowerment in positions in Edo, in Nigeria. Look at the Fulanis. They have planted themselves everywhere in the major positions in Nigeria. Why can't Edo people begin to do that through the help of any of our leaders who have ascertained a national level? Let us shift our mentality, our mind from the little things within the state and begin to project ourselves outside the box to hit the federal level and take advantage like our forefathers has been able to do it in history, and plant our trees in every major industries in Nigeria and even in the world at large. Edo indigenous movement will respect a noble from Edo Kingdom who has been able to conquer outside Edo Kingdom and use it to better the state for the interests and benefit of Edo indigenous people. Let's stop being petty to be focusing on just Edo Kingdom when you have the clout to attract mega things into Edo State. That's who we respect more as a noble in this kingdom and as far as Edo indigenous movement or people are concerned. We want all of you to please, most especially the nobles, help to keep the peace in the land, because we love one another and we're not interested to lose anyone Edo indigenous blood, because an average Edo indigene to us is more like 1,000 non-indigenes. Let us not forget that, because Law and order is what we believe in. We believe in, if a noble in the society goes wrong, even the governor or any governor in the future or any wealthy Edo indigene, if they go wrong to the detriment of Edo indigenes, they should be brought to justice. This is what Edo indigenous movement stands for. That is why we call on each and every one of Edo indigene all over the world to join this movement as a pressure against any form of group or individual or noble who will embark on any act of setback of our indigenous people's progress or marginalize them in the future. We are not in a hurry. We are gradually moving towards establishing a dual indigenous kingdom that will be seen as a center of law and order. Let's not forget that the reason why the world and other states in Nigeria get concerned if anything is happening in the Edo Kingdom is simply because Edo Kingdom, Edo State is their heartbeat. Why do you think when Edo cough, the country coughs? When Edo fall sick, it affects the entire country. It's because the uniqueness of Edo Kingdom, it is clear to even the blind or the deaf. The history has its record to that effect. Why should you not respect who you are and prioritize what you have in Edo Kingdom? Never again shall we put ourselves down before any race in the world, because Edo indigenous people comes first. Thank you as you cooperate with this movement and as you continue to do what is right as an Edo indigene. We are peaceful people. We believe in positive impact in our states. We believe in approaching every cause in a very civilized manner. I thank all Edo indigenes for taking their time to listen to this broadcast. And we say God bless you wherever you are. Oba Atokbe Issa.